Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 28th of October to the 3rd of November 2013. This is another week where everything at the right time and the right place builds to a culmination. So it's like a stepping stone effect. We need to take each day, one day at a time, and really concentrate on the energies that are present that day. So we begin the week with the clocks going backwards. This is always a very strange time of year, and whoever I speak to never really knows why we still do this. There's talk of farmers in Scotland needing to get up earlier or something, but surely they have lights on their tractors by now. So this is a very odd time of year where we start to meddle with time, and time and consciousness are linked together on this planet, and our perspective from this planet. So there's a slight out of syncness that comes in when we fiddle around and we change an hour here or take a day off this month and put it over there. So it's a really good week to just consider your place in time and to reconnect more with the planetary energies that are actually going on, rather than these man-made shifts which can have us feeling out of sorts. We're in the middle of the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, so by now we should be getting used to the going inside, to the revising, to the rethinking, and to the eliminating what is on the subconscious level causing chaos or drama in our world. So that aspect is in the middle, but on Tuesday we have Mercury retrograde meeting with Saturn. So this is one of 3 meetings, and Saturn always brings us tough lessons, but structure and backbone as a result. A bit like a personal trainer, we need to go in voluntarily and do the work, but Saturn will bring us some core strength if we can have the bravery, which Scorpio provides us with, to go in and have a good look around. So on Tuesday it's a very internal feeling. Go inwards, really rethink and revise what it is that's going on the inside, without being told what you think from the outside world, all the videos on Facebook and the interesting accounts that go on in the news. This is more important to go in and find your inner guidance system, because there's so much information. We're in an information overload world now, and there's a lot of muddying of the waters and a lot of opinions and a lot of identity flying around there. So it's very important this week that we actually listen to our own internal sat-nav and figure out for ourselves what truly supports us and what's relevant to us, rather than being told to us as the masses. So that's Mercury retrograde meeting Saturn on Tuesday. On Thursday we have the most wonderful celebration of Samhain, or Halloween. It always amazes me how far this can get from the truth, because this is a celebration of life, death and rebirth and honouring the ancestors, but it's been turned into a horror show. Some of the costumes in the fancy dress shops are just all about horror, rather than the honouring of the life, death and rebirth process that goes on at this time. So on Thursday, see if you can celebrate the Samhain Halloween festival with authenticity. Read up on the myths and the legends, read up on the tradition, and again see if you can keep that real and keep that true, because it's actually a very beautiful and necessary part of the year. If we don't die to the old, we can't be reborn to the new. But there's so much crazy energy around at this time of year that many people can get caught up in dressing as a character from a horror story and getting drunk, and that's not really what it's all about. So there's a page on my website that explains the actual Samhain celebration, and it's a really beautiful time of honour of life and the eternal life process, the fact that we are the result of our ancestors going forwards, and the fact that we are living in this beautiful spiral of time. On Friday we then build to the Uranus-Pluto square, and Uranus gets us ready for the brand new, to create a more equal, more positive, more humanitarian result from what's been broken down by Pluto. So this is really good timing, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, in a way the ruler of Samhain or Halloween. So it's getting rid of the old with honour in order that we can bring in the new. So again we see that life, death and rebirth pattern being played out very strongly in the Uranus-Pluto square. And when Uranus and Pluto are squared off, we've got 7 in the last 3 years and the next 2 years to come. There's 7 occasions when this happens. This can often play out on a society level, because Uranus and Pluto are far from the Sun, and they actually affect us more on a collective level than a personal level. By all means, look at where these are in your chart to see what you need to get rid of and what's not serving you anymore, what old structures need to be swept away, and what new vision can be replaced. But on a society level, we may see some drastic action in the news, but it's all necessary. Whatever goes is just making room for much, much better to come in. So that's a really beautiful aspect there on Friday, reaching a peak, but it's something that's been building for a few weeks and something that will cool down for a few weeks. So it's almost just reaching that peak on the Friday in the middle of this quite epic week. Then on Sunday we have the new moon in Scorpio. And the new moon is when the sun and the moon are together. And Scorpio, once again, is this time of year when we let go of the old, cleanse ourselves and get ready for a fresh new year. Samhain is the new year in the pagan calendar, and many other cultures around the world have this as their new year marker. So the Scorpio new moon comes right in, just as we've died to the old. This is the be reborn to the new aspect, as the sun and the moon trigger a 2-week window of completely new energy. This should find us, if we've done all the work of the previous weeks, this should find us empowered, fresh, clean, strong on the inside, and purposeful to step forward into the winter months, having done that cleansing, and really with that self-knowledge of the Mercury and the Saturn conjunction as well. So as you can see, this week is just day after day. There's something every single day telling us what we can do in order to get that cleanness and to really go in and sort out our subconscious, because if we all sort out our own personal subconscious drives, any manipulations, any programming, any identity stories that are hanging around inside of us and causing drama to come into our world, if we all do that separately, then the collective subconscious will be cleansed as well, and we'll see this is how we can bring this better world into being collectively. So this week works very much on a personal level, on an ancestral and traditional level, and on a vision for a bright future collective level. And it's just such a beautiful week. It's going to be very intense, but it's only you looking into you. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no ghouls and spooks really lurking around on the inside. It's just parts of you that you don't need to believe in anymore. And once you turn and face your own personal demons, then they will turn into easy prey to be able to just get rid of and clear the space to bring in the better. So although it's Halloween, and although you'll see all of this horrific and spooky and way out of proportion energy going on, swirling like a storm all around, the centre point is the Saturn Mercury right in the middle, saying look into yourself. What are you doing to create this? What do you stand for? And what do you want to get rid of? And what do you want to make space for? And then hold that vision of Uranus to say, okay, I believe and I know that collectively we can all cleanse and create a much, much better way of being. So a very powerful week. Go deep, be authentic on Samhain. It's not something for kids, it's actually a very adult celebration and a rite of passage. And then with the new moon on Sunday, we can step forward into a whole new week and a whole new world.